Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Senior Citizens Corner. Today, again, we are cooking for you another special traditional recipe. This is none other than the famous Munkoyo drink. This is a traditional drink that is made in Zambia and the surrounding countries. And before I go into the details of our cooking today, I would like to say that I know this program is important for you. Those of you people who are in diaspora and are not able maybe to connect with your families, even for some of us who maybe were not paying attention when our parents were teaching us, this is your opportunity to just get it right. And for anybody else who is interested in diversity, this program is for you, so that you get to know what we traditionally cooked in Southern Africa. So it is the famous Munkoyo drink. I'll straight away go to the ingredients that we need. I'm going straight to the ingredients, but of course, before I get to the ingredients, I need to introduce to you our chef again, no other than Munkoyo, also commonly called Monica, if you like. So she's going to show us how to cook the Munkoyo drink. Actually, this is one of her favorite drinks. She's always making Munkoyo drink as far back as I can remember. She's always cooking Munkoyo. So straight away to this traditional meal, traditional drink made from maize meal. What do we need? Number one, we need, this is a shrub, it's called Munkoyo. So we get the roots. These are Munkoyo roots. That's what we need. This is the same Munkoyo roots, but we have split them into small bits. We need water, ordinary water. We need sugar. And what else do we need? We need the maize meal. Where is the maize meal? We need maize meal. The maize meal, we usually use the one which is not so refined, which we call roller meal. We continue with our cooking. Traditional cooking, usually the measurements are not important. We usually use the eye, but I'm trying to mix the two so that you modern ladies can cook these things. So I'll give you the measurements. But before I continue, I would like to remind you to please share this video, like the video, comment, and very importantly, subscribe. We go straight into the measurements. For water, we are not making a lot of Munkoyo. I think this is a bit hot. We put here 60 liters of water. 60 liters of water. That is the water. And then for the Munkoyo, this is about 30 centimeters root. So for the amount of Munkoyo that we want to make, maybe 5 of these roots. 5 of these roots. In relation to the amount of water, Banakulubupi has reminded me, in relation to the amount of water that we are putting, 60 liters. So maybe 5 of these roots, which are just about 30 centimeters. And what we do to these roots is we split them. We split them up like this. And you split and split, we've already done it. Then you get this. For the sugar, we need, depending upon whether you want it to be sweet, you can put 1 cup. If you want it not so sweet, you could put half a cup of sugar. So we get on with our cooking of the famous Munkoyo drink. Banakulubupi, what do we need to do?
The first thing we need to make Munkoyo, as they have already explained, we would have insembe. If the insembe was there, but in modern days, insembe is difficult to get.
What is insembe? Insembe is it the maize grit? I think it's called maize grit. Yes.
Yes, that is what we used
Okay.
to use. But this time we are using roller meal. Not
Okay. The refined.
not the super roller, but the ordinary one.
Okay.
which has more ingredients which we need in our Munkoyo.
That's the less refined maize meal. Okay, can I open this?
Normally, we don't put meal into boiling water in the normal cooking because it makes lumps immediately it touches water. But those lumps for Munkoyo is necessary because they will go down there and touch at the bottom of the pot and make brown so that the Munkoyo will be brown for us.
So it's kind of a browning process. Okay. I can just pour all of it.
Yeah.
I've
Then-
poured it. Okay.
Then I take a
Cooking stick.
cooking stick,
Yeah.
I mix it, and the one who is watching me will say, why didn't she prepare it before putting it in? But this lumps to me for Munkoyo is necessary to brown the Munkoyo.
Okay, so we'll get to the next step. So we come to the next step. As you can see, we just poured in the meal and we use the cooking sticks to break up the lumps. We have largely done that. And we added just a little bit of water because Mom here said that when you are making a drink, it needs to be a bit light. Maybe you want to say something about that, Mom.
When you lift the wooden spoon, you do this to watch if it is watery or not. It shouldn't look like porridge. Porridge, we need it thick so that we are satisfied. But a drink, we need it light, like the other drinks which you see on the market. So you have to test it by lifting the wooden spoon. It will tell you that it is light now.
Okay, and then after this, after we have mixed and broken down the lumps, then we have to allow it to cook for 1 to 2 hours. What we are trying to achieve is a certain special taste or a certain scent when you cook the meal and it sort of browns. Not burning, but it sort of kind of browns at the bottom. It brings a special flavor. That is what we are looking for. So we cook this for about 1 to 2 hours. In the local language, we say mpaka ya pisuka until it is. Mom can pronounce it better.
Mpaka ya pisuka, ya kwata testi ya chikwanga.
Aha, when it's overcooked, not burnt, but cooked and it's browned at the bottom, that's what we are looking for because it just brings that special taste to the drink. Until the next step. Wow, people. There's something very interesting about African cooking. Mom said 2 hours and we were shocked. We said, Mom, 2 hours. She said, yes, 2 hours. So she told us that we have to wait until the maize meal, it's kind of like maize meal porridge. It boils for about 2 hours and it begins to brown at the bottom. It sort of becomes kind of charred. And when you smell it, you get that beautiful smell of maize meal when it has been kind of cooked for a long time. So what we are going to do now is we are going to remove the maize meal mixture, which is kind of turned like into something like porridge. We remove it from the fire and put it down, and then we continue cooking. As you can see, I have removed the maize meal mixture, you can even call it porridge, from the fire, and now I'll hand over to Banakulupe to let us know what to do next. Mom, what is next?
Thank you. The next step, where is our wooden spoon?
You need the wooden
You
spoon?
need the wooden spoon.
Okay, here is the wooden spoon.
Thank you very much. Then I test it. to see if it is the texture that I need.
The consistency.
Yes. Then I mix it to see that it has the same consistency all over. Then in our time, before industrial time came, we were getting these Munkoyo roots from the bush, clean them ourselves and put them straight.
While they are still fresh.
While they are still fresh.
Yes.
So the sap inside was still fresh.
Yes.
Not today. It has been dried, so it has been kept at the market. So there is something which we should do. Instead of waiting for the porridge to cool, we add while it is still hot. So we put it while it is hot, sort of cooking outside to reduce what might stick to the roots which we do not need.
Okay. So, Banakulubube, what is the next step?
The next step is to wait for the sticks to release the nutrients and the color of Munkoyo into
the maize meal mixture. Okay?
Yeah.
So what we are doing is, since we have put these Munkoyo roots into our maize meal mixture, now we are mixing because we want the color. The Munkoyo roots have got a yellowish color, and they have also got a nice flavor. That is why they are used, and they are also nutritious. So we are waiting for the nutrients, for the color, for the flavor to blend with the maize meal mixture or the porridge. And then we keep on mixing from time to time so that we kind of allow this process to happen. While people cooking from yesteryear is an art, it's something else. We have removed the maize meal mixture, we have added the Munkoyo roots, and Mom says we have to wait a bit, about 30 minutes or so, but it all depends. We are waiting for the liquid from the roots and the color, which is a yellowish color, and the flavor to go into the maize meal mixture. So while we are waiting, I'll show you what I'm doing on the side. I am cooking dry fish. And actually, this is dry fish. Actually, today I'm not going to take you through the cooking of dry fish. That is for another day, but it is a very special recipe. And when it is cooked, oh my God, it is so delicious. I remember my grandma used to cook this, and when she cooks this, oh God, it's to die for. But as we are waiting for the flavors to blend together and for the Munkoyo to begin to form, maybe there are a few questions that I have to ask Mom. So Mom, this Munkoyo roots, first of all, Munkoyo, is it a tree? Is it a plant? What is it?
It is a shrub found in certain areas of the part of the country all over. Mm-hmm. It is not found everywhere. There are certain areas where it is found.
Okay. And does it have other food value or other value apart from using it for making this famous drink called Munkoyo?
Actually, Munkoyo started as a medicine.
Okay.
In the old days, you go to the doctors.
Yes.
They find that you are suffering from a certain disease.
The traditional doctors.
Yes. Then they will prescribe Munkoyo.
Munkoyo roots.
Munkoyo roots.
Yes.
Go and do ABCD with it, and then you drink, and then people are getting cured. Those who had brown eyes, where the eyes became white.
Okay.
And they started seeing properly and stopped complaining from the sickness.
Okay.
Then as curiosity is, You say, let me feel how it is.
Yeah.
It is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Until the women said, I'll make porridge out of it.
Okay.
Eventually, it became Munkoyo for drinking.
For drinking.
And to sweeten it for children,
Yes.
we were using the traditional sugar cane.
Okay.
You take that, you peel it, you pound it, you put it in water, and that liquid is sweet. So if you put in Munkoyo, the children liked it very much. And they were taking it to school.
Oh, okay. So that is how Munkoyo came about. Wow, that's very, very interesting. So in the modern days, now it's just, when do people take Munkoyo? Is it a social drink?
The way we were taking Munkoyo was when you are going to the garden.
Yes.
Because sometimes the gardens were far away from the village.
Okay.
And you don't want to disturb your work in the field.
Yes.
So we used to carry this to the field, and when you felt dry, thirsty, then you went and took from a big gourd into my small cup.
Yes.
Then I drank and went back to work. Okay. I felt stimulated, strong, and continued working. And it used to kill hunger. Instead of feeling hungry and wanting food, once you drink Munkoyo, you felt okay. And able to wait for until evening meal.
Okay, that's very interesting. These days, I see that Munkoyo, whenever we have, because in Zambia we do have traditional ceremonies. For example, we have what we call, is it Chilanga Mulilo, when somebody is getting married, when we have weddings, when we have parties, and where they sell traditional Zambian food, you always find this drink called Munkoyo. It is very, very delicious. So now we are ready to check how our flavors are blending.
Because the sticks are dry, the Munkoyo has not become liquid the way we wanted, so we had to add boiled water, not cold water. It must be boiled water so that the Munkoyo mix properly without separating itself.
We are still cooking the famous Munkoyo drink. So, about 30 minutes has passed, and we have mixed the roots with the maize meal mixture or the porridge, and we notice that it's still quite thick. So what do you have to say about this, Munkoyo?
Because Munkoyo was dry, it couldn't release the sap which we expect when we use fresh one from the bush. So today we have to add boiled water, not cold water.
Okay.
It must be boiled water while it is hot. You mix into this thick porridge.
So that the aim is to make it lighter.
To bring the measurement to the original water which we had, which was 60 liters.
Now, if I look at the consistency, is this okay? So we want to add some water?
We want to add some water to make it liquid to a style of a drink.
Okay, so I've boiled my water here. I've added some. Then I mix. Mix. You need a bit of energy when mixing this. This is a big pot. We are mixing, and there are roots down there. I'm mixing. Can I add some more water?
Please add.
Okay, some more water. Is that okay?
Yep.
All right. So we continue mixing until we get kind of more liquid, so that it turns into a drink and not porridge. Okay, so we'll continue. The preparation of the Munkoyo continues. Mom has said that now the liquid from the roots has gone into the maize meal mixture, the flavor, the color. You can even see it looks a bit yellowish. It looks a bit yellowish. So, Mom, what do we do next?
The next thing we do is to separate the roots.
Okay, the roots have done their work. So we take out the roots like this. You can see that. And we put them here in a kind of a sieve-like container so that the liquid can still seep through and will still make this part of the drink. So we take out the roots using this kind of spatula to take the roots out like that, until we finish, or when most of the roots have been taken out. What is the next step?
The next step, because this Munkoyo has not done what I expected, to make this thing very liquid. You can see when we are taking the sticks out, they are covered with porridge. We have to pour hot water, very hot water, or the boiling water over it, so that we can obtain, or we can retain the liquid, the flavor of the Munkoyo, which is sticking to the sticks, to the roots of Munkoyo. As you know, the aim is to retrieve the porridge which has stuck to the roots of Munkoyo. The Munkoyo roots.
Okay. Bit water?
I think a little bit.
Bit of water. Stir careful.
That's enough. This is how the sticks should look like when we have taken them from here, if we had used fresh Munkoyo sticks.
Okay.
Should look clean, not covered with porridge. Into my pot and mix and start sieving.
So we are going to the next step. We have sieved and removed the roots. We have extracted everything that we wanted from the roots. So I'll pour this back into the pot. And then the next step,
We mix.
we have to mix. Let me get my cooking stick. We mix like that, like this. You can see it is lighter, it is more liquid, and of course there'll be a few sticks, but not a problem. And we also remove the porridge mixture from the sides, and then we are supposed to sieve. Am I right?
Yes.
So here we go with the sieving. Some people use a sieve, but what we like to do is that we start with something which has got bigger holes so that the process takes place quickly, and then we can still go on to use a sieve. So here is the process. We are sieving. This is kind of a colander which has got smaller holes. So there we go. Mom, do you need help or are you okay?
I do need help.
Okay. All right. Wow, people, we are still cooking the Munkoyo drink, and we are still on the sieving stage. You saw what I did with the roots. We removed the roots and then we sieved the rest of the liquid. And another important part when sieving, very important, this is the brown stuff that remains down the pot. This is also very important to add. You can see it should not be burnt but brownish. This adds flavor to the local drink. It kind of gives it that kind of charred taste. Mom, maybe you want to add something to that.
As you can see, there is something like porridge sticking to it. So this time I don't take water. I take it from a Munkoyo, which I have already sieved with a cup, and then pass it over in order to see that everything goes in.
So we are extracting the flavor from this brown, the porridge that sticks to the bottom of the pot to give it that extra special traditional flavor. Anakulubupe, we have finished the process of cooking, but now we are moving to the next level where we want the Munkoyo to ferment just a little bit. So there are certain steps that we have to take. Just a little bit. We don't want it to ferment to become alcoholic, no. Just that touch of fermentation, which we love in traditional cooking. But Banakulubupe, Mom will explain more.
Traditionally, we used to use what we are calling ifisari. Now, today we have got sugar. That's what we are using.
Ifisari, that is sugar cane.
Sugar cane, the traditional one.
There are different types of sugar cane. So it was a sugar cane. You said you pound it.
You peel it, you pound it. After pounding it, you put it in water.
Okay.
And that water you boil and you pour in the munko.
All right. Modern day we use sugar.
You use sugar,
which also comes from sugar cane.
Which comes from a sugar cane. But otherwise, for those who have been forbidden to use sugar, we don't put this sugar. We put sugar cane with liquid for them.
Okay.
But those who eat sugar, it's okay. We put sugar to help us to ferment fast.
Okay. So how much sugar do we put?
For 60 liters, we put 1 cup.
Okay, so we can put the sugar. And I mix?
Yes, please.
So I'm mixing after we've added the sugar. Like Mom said, it will help with the fermentation and also the taste of the drink. People like sweet things, so we put in the sugar. But please take note, if you don't take sugar, there are options. You can use the actual sugar cane. I think it's healthier and it shouldn't cause any health problems. What is the next step, Mom?
The next step, if it is cold, I test it. Not very cold, but it can be cold while it is in this fermentation container, which today I call a bucket. But previously we used to use insupa, which is a gourd. And this one, when you choose one for Munkoyo, it will always be for Munkoyo, and it makes beautiful Munkoyo after using it for some time. And it ferments faster. Then we used to use a cup. The traditional cup is ulukombo, which we used to hold and put things there, and at the same time take things out. But you will tell me that the glucombo and this is the opening is so small. I would pour this in a pot or a big container where I use glucombo to take this and give it to the people in their cups.
Okay, so I'm going to pour the Munkoyo mixture before fermentation into this container so that we can proceed with the fermentation process. So I pour it out like that. I think I have a spatula. Just make sure that all of it, because I'm sure some of the sugar went down, I'll put it all in there and we'll continue from there. So we have come to the end of preparing the Munkoyo drink. Now we'll just, when we put it away, we'll explain. We'll just have to wait for passage of time for it to ferment just a little bit. So this is the final product. If you can look at it, it looks a bit brownish, yellowish, and that's because of the ingredients that we put in. So traditionally, we'll put it in a container like that one, and then we put it in the sun. In the modern day, you can use any container. What is important is you put it in the sun. The sugar does help in the fermentation. And before I conclude, I'd like Munkoyo to say a few words. Then I'll conclude. Over to you, Mom.
This Munkoyo, which we have finished making, will be ready by tomorrow for people to drink.
So that's how many hours?
I could say
24 hours.
24 hours.
Okay. So we have to, after we make it, and then we put it in the sun.
Put it in the sun or in a warm place so that the fermentation takes place quickly. But we don't drink it today. But the following day, it will look like this.
We made some Munkoyo earlier, so this is a finished product. Actually, we made quite a lot. We are going to have a family function, so we made some Munkoyo for the family function, and we are going to give some family members. This is the final outcome. The Munkoyo should look something like this. This is a finished product, and it's ready to drink. And oh my God, that taste, that kind of ashy, is it ashy taste, or that kind of a bit of a browning taste? It tastes so beautiful, so good, especially when it's cold. It's so lovely. So from us, myself, Florence, and Mom here, Munkoyo, until next time, it is bye.
Bye.
And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and very importantly, comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you like us to cook. We are at your service from the Senior Citizens Group. I thought I should just show you the end product of our Munkoyo drink. This is our Munkoyo drink, and as you can see, it's tasting absolutely beautiful. It has been in the fridge for about 2-3 days, and it tastes great. Just look at that drink. This is our Munkoyo drink that we were making the other day, so this is the outcome. And I'm not selfish, but everybody's not home, so I'm drinking it alone. But it tastes good.